Hi, I'm Dr. Papia Bhattacharjee. In this problem, we have to evaluate the function at various expressions, and in the end, we have to evaluate the difference quotient. So that's the question. We have to evaluate the difference quotient and then simplify it. Okay, so let me give you the definition. Difference quotient is this expression. It's f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by delta x. Okay, so as you can see that we already have the expression for the function. F of x is right here. What we have to figure out is this expression. What is f of x plus delta x? So, in order to do that, it's always nice to understand how to evaluate the function when you plug in this entire expression instead of x. So, you should think of it this way. When you have the function written this way already, consider that wherever there is x, there is an empty box. And then, whenever you plug in this expression in that empty box, you will plug in that same expression in each of the empty boxes on the right-hand side. So, instead of x, I write an empty box, and the right-hand side is the same way. Instead of x, you put an empty box square minus 5 times an empty box plus 2. So, if you consider the whole function expression this way, it might not be too difficult to figure out what this expression will be. So, let us find this expression separately first, and then we will plug it in this difference quotient. So, what is f of x plus delta x? Remember, this is now inside that empty box. So, you plug that expression in each of these boxes. Okay, so right hand side you have x plus delta x, square it, then minus 5 times, again you have x plus delta x, and then plus 2. Let's simplify it here. Okay, so this is, remember, the entire thing square, the entire x plus delta x square. Also, the second expression, the negative 5 is multiplied to the entire x plus delta x, and then you have plus 2. Okay, so in order to simplify, we have to expand the square term, and you can use FOIL, that method. So you can write it as x plus delta x times x plus delta x, and then here you have minus 5 x plus delta x, and then plus 2. Now let's FOIL x times x, you have x square, then you have x times delta x and another delta x times x. So let's write it down separately. One is x times delta x, and you have that delta x times x. And the last one is delta x times delta x, so delta x square. Now let's also distribute the negative 5. So you have negative 5x, and you have a negative 5 times delta x, and we have the plus 2. Okay, so we have x squared. Notice that these two, they're the same thing. So you add them and you get 2 times x times delta x. And you have delta x squared, you have a negative 5x and a negative 5 delta x and plus 2. Let's look at all of those terms. I don't think there is any other common term that we can simplify. So let's keep it there, and let's come back to this expression, and we will plug in the entire thing for the first term. So the f of x plus delta x is right here. So let's write everything down. We have x squared plus 2x delta x plus delta x square minus 5x minus 5 delta x plus 2. Now we have to subtract f of x from this expression. So we have minus, and here you have to be very careful. Notice that there's a negative sign in front of this expression. So you have to distribute this negative sign throughout. So the best thing is to put the f of x inside a bracket. So f of x is x squared minus 5x plus 2. And then denominator, we have delta x. All right, let's try to simplify. Let's write down everything again, but this time we will get rid of this bracket. So we have x squared, 2x delta x, then delta x squared minus 5x minus 5 delta x plus 2. And now the negative distributes, so the negative, this will be minus x squared. In the next term, the minus and the minus, they will become a plus sign. So it will be a positive 5x. And then the last one is also going to be negative, because negative times positive is a negative. And you have delta x in the denominator. Now we have to look at in the numerator and see if we can cancel out anything, if there are any terms that are common. And we see that here's an x squared, and here you have a negative x squared. So these two will cancel. Okay. Notice that the negative 5x and positive 5x will also cancel, and the negative 2 and the positive 2 will cancel. Right? So we have 2x delta x plus delta x squared minus 5 delta x. That's it in the top, and the denominator is delta x. Now don't stop here, because if you notice carefully, we can simplify it further. We can, if you notice in the numerator, every term has a delta x as a common factor. So we can factor out a delta x from all the terms in the numerator. So let's do that. So we have delta x factored out. If you do that, what is remaining from the first term? 2x is remaining. In the second term, we took out one of the delta x. There are two, delta x squared. So we took out one, so we are left with another one. And the last term, when you take out the delta x, we're left with negative 5. Denominator, we have delta x. And guess what? These two will cancel as well. And so we end up having 2x plus delta x minus 5. So that is the simplified expression of the difference quotient for this function. Thank you.